Arnold is like 6 weeks out now. I'm not doing the Arnold, obviously, but the season is upon us again. I'm gonna shit the bed on this one. Oh, I got it. This is a sheep beef sheep t-shirts I was selling, which you could still buy if you want. Gasp logo. It is a performance enhancing duck. I'm enjoying this leg session so much I almost forgot that my shoulder was hurt. 3 or 4 weeks ago I hit 300 for the first time. Woo. And then I immediately lost it again. I love Restaurant Depot. Layman Cookie Co. in Springfield, Oregon. My weight's back up there now, like high 290s, 300. Does that thing have a red light when it's recording or no?
Johanna's busy.
All right, are we going?
Yep.
Last Friday or Thursday? Yeah. We were filming for Muscle and Strength for Dan. Did a push day in here and I hurt my shoulder and I stubbornly kept on training on it through the whole session. So I did something in my rotator cuff, something's impinged. I don't know what, but it's kind of fixing itself. That is to get back to the point. Today's Wednesday. I trained my legs 4 days ago, but I'm gonna do legs again today because I can't do anything with the upper body right now because of my shoulder. I also just turned 28, like getting older. What can you do? You fucking. I usually train my legs once a week. I'm doing it twice a week this week. I'm gonna treat today kind of like just not a pump session, but I'm just gonna kind of spam a lot of volume for mostly my quads. Probably 70-75% of the load that I usually do. Working a little higher rep range. Just fill my legs up with blood without nuking everything else, particularly my joints. Not getting any younger. Tell you what, I usually need about a week break from like one leg session to another if I'm hitting like a really heavy hack squat or really heavy pendulum squat, because it really takes a toll on us. And if you kind of get ahead of the curve there and you start hitting something more frequently, you don't let your tendons recover because they need a break as well in between sessions, then that's when, in my experience, you start to get pain that turns into worse pain that turns into like debilitating pain. And you can get away with that to some extent when you're 20 and you're made of rubber, but no longer the case. I mean, one of the reasons I put these first, and this is something I learned from John Meadows, a lot of people learn from John Meadows, is, this is a good way to warm up your knee joint, doing some articulation like that under load without actually putting any load on your quad yet. So you're not fatiguing your quad, you're not putting any load on your quad tendon and potentially irritating it, but you still get your joint all lubed up and ready to go for your compound stuff. If you go from this to like, a squat, a leg press, pendulum, whatever, it's not gonna make you any weaker on those movements. So it's kind of like a little free lunch. I don't know. The season is upon us again. I'm probably not gonna be starting prep till April or May, I think. Still got some time. Probably 3 or 4 weeks ago, I hit 300 for the first time. Woo. And then I immediately lost it again because I got sick and now my shoulder's jacked up. So hitting some speed bumps, but my weight's back up there now, like high 290s, 300. So I'm pleased with that. Because I got a little while until I start prep. Probably gonna just try and hold this for as long as I can, solidify it a bit more. One of the things that's gonna be challenging is I've got a couple of trips coming up. Probably gonna be going to the Arnold. And I'm headed to Korea a little after that. When I'm prepping for a show, traveling is actually a breeze. mostly because, you know, you're on the move a bunch. You know, you're burning calories, which is good when you're dieting. Your meals are small, you're hungry, so you can get them in really fast. That's all good, right? But if I'm trying to hold on to 300 pounds and I'm jet setting or whatever, it's going to be a challenge. So, but you know, that's one of the things you have to manage the further you get into the sport, because traveling is part of it, making appearances is part of it, and being able to stay on top of your game while you're doing all that is a part of it. Yeah. When I start prep this year, I'm probably going to be doing traveling again, because that's a good time to do it. Korea, it's like the end of March. I don't think I have anything for a little bit. If opportunities come up during the season to like guest pose or do stuff like that, definitely want to take advantage of it. I like doing that stuff. Some guys, you know, would prefer to stay at home. You know, I totally understand that when you're really locked into a prep, but I like being distracted and talking to people and hanging out. Keeps my mind off things. But I'm not gonna travel any closer than like 4 or 5 weeks out to a show, because last year I came down to Texas for a guest posing at like 2 weeks out. I got sick. It was like 100 bajillion degrees the whole time. Wasn't good for me.
What's up, Garrett? What up? How we doing? Happy New Year. Come on. Let's go. Come on, Sue. Up. Good. Come on. Up. Come on. Good. Come on.
Down here just over 2 months now. Previously, I was living up in Washington State. There wasn't really much stuff going on there as far as the sport goes. So now I'm down here, training destination full time. I spend an inordinate amount of time in the back office, and I'm going to keep doing that until someone kicks me out.
Let's go. Come on. Come on, Up. Good. Oh. Another. You done? We'll do one more. I was gonna help you strip it, but I gotta go back. I was gonna help you strip it, but I gotta go back to work.
You know, I came down here because in a lot of ways, the last season was kind of a flop for me. My placings weren't terrible. I think my physique improved. I still didn't, you know, get done what I needed to get done. What I wanted to get done, which is qualify. That's still my goal this year. You know, when I was up in Washington, mentally, I was not keyed in like I need to be successful at this level. Being down here just a couple of months already, it's been complete 180 for me. Like the environment and the community down here is, I don't think there's anything else like it in the States. Having this around me when I start dieting, when I start prepping for shows, when I really need to be focused. I don't know if I'll be a game changer, but certainly going to keep my head on straighter than it was last year. So, my knees are feeling okay today, but one of the reasons why, so the way I've been setting up my leg sessions when my knees aren't feeling very good is I'll start with a leg press like we just did, or like a 45-degree regular leg press. It allows me to load up my quads pretty heavy, but without too much flexion. So when my knees are cold and there's a lot of load on them and I'm bending them super, so this is knee flexion. So like the more bent your knee is, the more inflection it is. So I'm not going quite as deep with my knee joint on a leg press as I would on here. So it allows me to kind of get that warm, get it used to holding a load. And then by the time I go onto this, my knees are warmed up and ready to go. I'm a little fatigued, so I don't have to throw like 7 plates on here. I can do like 4 or 5. And they're pumped up. So when my legs are already pumped up and I go into a squat movement like this, where I am getting a really deep knee flexion, I can get a much deeper stretch on my quad muscle with all the extra blood in there. It helps stretch it out a little further. You're basically pumping it up, pumping up your quad first, and then stretching it out excessively on here. But it doesn't hurt your knees as bad because, you know, they're already warm. You're not moving as much load. You know, I always walk out of the gym pretty damn sore after doing that kind of setup. I don't think it takes away from any of the effectiveness of the training session versus like if you're to put a squat movement first. Basically do that in reverse order. That's been kind of saving my knees a bit. It's my big ass head. We talked about this, Nick. I don't think this is released yet, but it fits my head, which is pretty cool. This shit right here, that was the last show I won. It's been 3 fucking years. Maybe I should just hang it up, eh? I might be good at golf. Never really given that a chance. Oop. I'm gonna shit the bed on this one. Oh, I got it. I thought that was it. Finish up with some leg extensions. I'm just gonna pump my legs more. Probably gonna be pretty light. My knees don't hurt right now. They're actually really well warmed up because we kind of went through this whole sequence of, you know, leg pressing and then squatting. Now they're happy, so I can just kind of bring them out there and call it a day. I've been talking to some people who they'll throw their leg extensions at the beginning of their leg day. You know, kind of fatigue them before they go into their squat or their leg press next up. I don't like doing that because if I try and do like hard sets of leg extensions at the beginning of my session before my knees are warm, oh my God, that hurts. That hurts really bad. You know, sometimes I don't even do them, leg extensions. Do some today. We're doing a big old quad pump. Oh. Oh. It's really, I don't have that loaded that heavy. I'm just kind of going until I can't move anymore. Putting as much blood in there as I can. I'll probably just do a couple more on there. I already blew my load. Pause on those movements over there. You know what I'm saying. You know, I'm enjoying this leg session so much I almost forgot that my shoulder was hurt. The plan was to make it a easy session, but I don't know, 20 rep sets are kind of hard, man. Young man, his last name is Lehman. I don't know his first name, but he messaged me on Instagram. He was like, hey, I have a birthday present for you. I was like, that's weird. I don't know you. Why don't you send it to the gym and put my name on it? So he did, and it wasn't weird, turns out. So his wife has a cookie company, and he made all of these custom cookies. Oh no, I broke this one. This is our Discord server. This is a sheet beef sheet. This is the design from my t-shirts I was selling, which you could still buy if you want.
That's wicked.
We got
Robbie Robinson.
got a Gasp logo, the best one, of course. Restaurant Depot. I love Restaurant Depot. It's like a wholesale food store for restaurants. Super cheap. Highly recommend it. We're gonna do a video on that eventually, aren't we? Yeah. And this is an old one. This is a rubber duck. It is a performance enhancing duck. So when I was prepping for the USA's a couple years ago, I used to I had this little rubber duck that I'd have with me every time I did cardio. I just put it on the Stairmaster next to me. It was my performance enhancing duck, and I thought it was hilarious. I didn't actually come up with that. That was one of my friends in Arizona. But yeah, these are super cool. I think they have like some sort of like printer or something that prints the designs on here. It came out great.
Dude, those are wicked. Those are fun.
Yeah, shout out to the cookie company, Lehman Cookie Co. in Springfield, Oregon. Shout out Oregon. Oregon. But yeah, if you want any funny looking cookies like this, hit them up.